Welcome to Inver Channel. I'm Afni, name backwards. You've all been waiting for me. When is she going to come back on and do a long video on YouTube? Today's topic is change. I'd love to share my personal story with you. I've had an adventurous, fast and furious career. Decades ago, I was very privileged. I didn't go to university, so very lucky to land myself in a tier 1 telecommunications media brand called BT. I was hired as their territory sales to be out on the road in a very male-dominated environment. I had to quickly learn the ropes at BT. The training is amazing and the managers were very supportive. I was on my own territory, very large territory of North London, right through to West London and all the way to Heathrow Airport and beyond. I had to close the deals on the day, sell advertising space and the telecom free phone 0800 numbers to local businesses. So the competitor of Yell, back in the days, years ago, Yell used to own the BT phone book, but they sold it to BT. And since then, BT had it and grew it and scaled up and hired people like me. During my time at BT, there were a lot of challenges that I had to face as a female salesperson. Number one, as I mentioned earlier, I was the very few. Late nights, it wasn't a job for a woman that had children or had to be home at a certain time because the boyfriend needed her. So really, what I found out looking around in the territory where there were very few females, we all had two things in common. We were single and we didn't have kids. So I guess that may have given me some credibility at the job interview. And moving on from BT, I took a stint, opened up my own property company where I was closely working with landlords and tenants, and it was a boutique outfit, and that was long hours. I built the business from the ground upwards. I found my own vendors, found my own landlords, and did numerous advertising. So what I learned at BT, they taught me everything about advertising and online media, offline media, social media marketing. I implemented that into my business model, the estate agency lettings business that I ran. And again, long hours. And here it was working 7 days a week. As you can appreciate, a lot of tenants can't view properties Monday to Thursday, and perhaps their window is Friday to Saturday, because a lot of vendors don't want people coming round to their homes on a Sunday. From there, I went back into the drawing board and I did my research, and that time in my life, 2014-15, was when the digital tech ecosystem had really exploded, and the startup that was happening in Los Angeles, in San Francisco to be more correct, came over to Shoreditch, to the East End, and I was very lucky to start working in a prop tech company. You're probably asking, what is a prop tech company? It's simply property and technology combined together, where it simplifies the acquisition, the buying and selling of property and the letting of the rentals where it's speeded up, saves on time management, and it's on digital real time 24/7. And it saves on paper and Excel spreadsheets. So it was really exciting. I had to be relentless. Some of the qualities that I implemented at the PC corporate world, where I had to be assertive, articulate, I had to be a hustler, I had to behave like an entrepreneur. So the ingredients that I learned when I had my own property company, I adopted that into this tech startup where I was working very closely with the founder. Whereas at BT, I never met the CEO. We would meet our line managers on patch, and when we had award ceremonies, that's when we would meet the hierarchy, the leadership team. Here it was exciting. No 2 days were the same. My job was not just a business development manager role, my job was also marketing. In fact, the founder wanted me to do the marketing for the company because I was the only BDM there that had a background in advertising, newspapers, BT the phone book, magazines, luxury brands, selling space, online, event management. So I was the one that was going to these fancy after work do's, and again, two things: I was still single and I still did not have any kids. So with the tech startup world, it's not 7 days a week, because for me, I was an employee. For me, it was still 6 days a week. So Sundays, I would do all my planning, all my calls that I would be making Monday to go to the office in Shoreditch and kickstart Monday and really bash out those calls to convert them into emails, to confirmed calendar meetings for online on the laptop, or if they were local property companies, I would go on the tube to visit them. So the startup territory was very challenging. You had to almost have a mindset of taking ownership and running this business like it's your own baby, which I did previously with my first startup in property. And after this startup, I then went on to working in the fintech industry, where I learned everything about fundamental analysis, technical analysis, sentiment analysis, which are the three ingredients that are heavily involved for any trader in the foreign exchange currencies. And this company was institutional, so I had to be very dynamic, very well spoken to some degree. I was selling overseas. It was at the height of the COVID-19. My target market were the tier 2, tier 3 institutions, investment banks in the emerging markets. The other skill set for transferable communication that I was very privileged to have in this role was that I speak more than one language. I speak Gujarati, which is my mother tongue, fluently, and I speak Hindi. I speak a tinsy-wincy bit of French because I learned it at school, and also I speak a bit of Arabic because of international territories that I was working in before. So this helped me really understand the data sets that are involved in the trading FX currencies. They use a lot of data that I had to work through. It was high revenue accounts, prospect, everything brand new business. So it was the other spectrum, and where it wasn't high volume selling. At BT, we had to make 250 outbound telephone calls on a Monday when we went to head office. Here, it wasn't quantity, it was quality. And I would really love to hear your story and your journey of transformational change that's happened to me. And for me today, because I've taken a really long break because of my own personal development, which will be another topic in the future to discuss, I've good news, which I'd love to share with you all. I've just launched my emerging Changemaker community platform that you can find me, connect with me on all socials, but the platform where I will collaborate with entrepreneurs, cutting edge, innovative companies, trailblazers, hustlers like me. You can find me on LinkedIn.